Waterfall presents The Art of the Gospels by Makoto Fujimura, which has been exhibited in the Museum of Bible as well as the Jundt Art Museum of Gonzaga University. Celebrating the 400th anniversary of the King James Version of the Bible, Makoto Fujimura created 5 primary front pieces. The 5 large-scale paintings are Charis-Kairos, Tears of Christ, and 4 opening plates, 1 for each of the 4 Gospels. He also painted 89 initial letters, each painted and many adorned with gold flecks and foil, specifically for each chapter opening throughout the Gospels. Additionally, he created more than 70 individual painted illustrated reflections and embellishments complementing the Gospel text on each 2-page spread throughout the book. Art of Gospels, Charis-Kairos. Charis-Kairos, directly translated as Grace Time, was painted with water-based Nihongo materials with Fujimura's focus on the tears of Christ that were shed for the atrocities of the past century and for our present darkness. Cherish is a series of paintings done in 2008, so the painting is already a part of a greater body of work. The Tears of Christ is a subtitle given to this particular work for the 4 Holy Gospel project, so it is not a direct translation of the Greek, but an additional title given to the piece. In the 4 Holy Gospels, Matthew, considered the lilies, is done with over 60 layers of finely pulverized precious minerals, azurite and malachite, oyster shell white, and painted with sumi ink that has been cured for over a century. Also, gold and platinum powders are mixed with hide glue to adhere the minerals onto a hand-pulled Japanese paper. The painting depicts Easter lilies with triumvirate flowers opening up, but with the suggestion that even these common lilies are transformed into post-resurrection generative reality. The Mark Water Flame series depicts the way in which flames not only consumes, but ultimately sanctify. These works recall the visual language of the apocalyptic and moody paintings of the American artist Mark Rothko, using Japanese vermilion, gold, platinum powders, and cochineal. The work moves our gaze upward, even as we stand in the ever-expanding ground zero conditions of the world. Luke, Prodigal Son, is based on a well-known tale of the lost son in Luke 15 and is taken from my pastor Timothy Keller's book, Prodigal Son. The visual complexity of the work depicts my own inner struggle between legalism of religion, the elder brother, and the recklessly spendthrift nature of the father's love in the story. In the art world and culture in which we celebrate the wayward, but not having the language to bring the lost, myself included at times back home, these stories of works probe deeply into the tension that exists within my heart to love deeply, in spite of the legalism and waywardness that prevails in the wider culture. John in the beginning visually echoes the Charis-Kairos cover piece in the same way that the beginning of the Gospel of John echoes the beginning of Genesis. The first chapter of the Gospel of John speaks not only about the origin of all creation in Jesus, but also about the mystery behind creation. Art needs to inhabit such mysteries to open us up to the generative reality of the deeper questions that lie behind our questions. A portion of John in the beginning was done as a live performance as part of an ongoing collaboration with jazz percussionist and composer Suzy Ibarra. Art of Gospels, the 89 Letters. For 89 letters, Fujimura came into the studio each day and read a chapter he was working on, starting from Matthew. He felt privileged to be able to spend so much time praying and meditating on each chapter and then thinking of generative ways to create imagery. Having the overall theme of Jesus wept in mind, while paying close attention to the content of the chapters, he first selected a particular focus of each. One could do thousands of images for each chapter, so it was important to select an emphasis of area of interest. Throughout each letter, Fujimura wanted the playfulness to be imbued in the image as well as the greater stories to be reflected as well. The embellishments were done last after a lengthy process of preparing the text and the initial letters onto a high-quality watercolor paper.